I'm waiting for my light. Ah, there we go. Okay. I think my light was waiting for me. I don't know what was going on. Good morning, folks. Good morning and welcome to this place. Oh, thank you. For those of you who may be walking in for the first time today, wondering why they're applauding the speakers, because I've been gone for a while. That's what it is. My name is Reverend Ed. They don't always do that, by the way, which is a shame when you think about it. My name is Reverend Ed. I'm the minister here, and welcome to this place of love and hope and beloved community. We are so glad you are here with us this morning. We have just a couple announcements this morning. Look at the sign in the foyer for in the gathering place for where lunch bunch is today. And after service, we will be doing two things. We will have a talk back on the service. A talk back is, for those of you who are new, a talk back is where you can ask questions or complain or very politely find ways to ask questions that are actually complaints, or you can do what you want to do. Following up on the sermon, following up on the service today, I think it's one that you might find interesting. So we will do that, and then we will have coffee. I wanted to let you know that each Sunday, including this Sunday, there are folks from our lay pastoral ministry team here. If something comes up for you, or if something is coming up for you, and you need someone to talk to, please feel free to talk to them, and they can refer you to the correct internal resource, up to and including me as necessary. You can tell them because they have yellow name tags on, and there's a few of them sitting around here. Yeah. Oh, that's right. It's a name tag free week one more time. Okay. Talk to me. I can help you. And this is the third or fourth Sunday. So after the talk back, this is the fourth Sunday, we will do, if you're new to Emerson, want to know more about Emerson, after the talk back, we'll go up to the library and we will have a light meeting up in the library. And lastly, for those of you who are new here and would like to get to know more about us, if you're not already on our mailing list, the yellow card in the front, in the pew in front of you will help you get, that's right, Mark is holding one up. Sorry, no names. That person over there is holding one up. And we will get you on our mailing list. So with that, those are all the announcements for the morning. Welcome. It's good to see all of you. It's good to see all of you again. And, oh, wait a minute, one more announcement, sorry. We have a group of people who will be creating some social media content for us. This week, next week, the week after, in the next couple weeks. We are trying to become cooler. And that's the way I've heard you should do it. So, these people will be, so when someone comes up to you and asks to film you and ask you a question or something, they're not just creepy people, they're our social media folks. And that'll be in this week, next week, a few weeks. So just be aware that those people are authorized. That's what we're doing. We want to make sure that you know that these people are not just people who are doing this. And what was the other thing? That was it. That was very good. Artem, welcome back, Artem. How about a little music?
As we gather in community, we look within ourselves and to each other for strength, restoration, and inspiration, so that as we journey together, we catch the spark of the eternal Spirit, and from that spark, we light our chalice flame. Lighting the chalice flame symbolizes to all that the spirit of our congregation is strong and that our will to transform ourselves in the world is also strong. We light the flame with gratitude. We light the flame in memory of all who have gone before, in honor of all who are here now, and with joy for all who are yet to come. As we light our chalice flame here in the sanctuary, I invite those of you joining us from home to light a candle or chalice of your own. Our chalice lighting words for July come from Ben Sewell, a lifelong UU attending First Parish in Lexington, Massachusetts since childhood. Please join me in reading these words together as they appear on your screen. Out of the darkness, light. Out of the light, warmth. Out of the warmth, joy. Out of the joy, togetherness. May this flame hold us for the time we are here with one another. As we work to create beloved community, we welcome all who would join us building a better world with more love, more justice, and more peace. We welcome all who would join us in growing in mind, heart, and spirit. We welcome all who would join us in tearing down systems of oppression of all kinds. We welcome all who would join their purposes to ours in a loving spirit of right relationship. Please join me in our welcoming. The words are on the screen. Whoever you are, wherever you come from, wherever you find yourself on life's journey, whichever your pronouns, whether you've walked in or rolled in or dialed in, whomever you love, you are welcome here. And now we have our presentation of This Week in Unitarian Universalist History with Richard Cummins.
Thank you. Good morning. From Frank Shulman's book, wonderful book of a collection from this day in UU history, I've selected two items for the week of July 21st to July 27th. On the 21st of July in 1813, King William IV of England signed the Trinity Act, which repealed penalties for Unitarian belief. Robert Asplund said of this act, Unitarians became for the first time free men in their native land. And on the 25th of July in 1806, Maria Weston Chapman was born in Weymouth, Massachusetts. She was educated in London and in 1828 became the principal of Ebenezer Bailey's Young Ladies High School. In 1830, she returned to the United States and married Henry Chapman, an abolitionist. They were members of the Federal Street Church, now the Arlington Street Church, during the ministry of William Ellery Channing. Chapman and 12 other women founded the Boston Female Anti-Slavery Society. Chapman was active in numerous other abolitionist societies and worked with William Lloyd Garrison on the journal The Liberator. After the Civil War, she continued her activities on behalf of freed slaves. She died on July 12, 1885. Reverend Ed?
It is important that we acknowledge that our history, glorious as it is also oftentimes a shared and harmful history. Our congregation's buildings are situated on the home of the Karankawa and Atakapa peoples who lived here for at least 2,000 years before European settlers arrived and very nearly brought about their end. May we recognize, uplift, and support Indigenous voices and communities in our work as a congregation. Each time we are gathered, we hear words from one of our 6 Unitarian Universalist sources. Today we hear words from Friedrich Nietzsche. And if you know Nietzsche, you have to have an open mind here, okay? Right? A little weird for some of us. And this quote is not particularly hard to wrap your arms around, but Nietzsche was a controversial German philosopher who who lived during the second half of the 19th century. This quote is from his book of aphorisms, which is what we're talking about today, called Beyond Good and Evil, which was published in 1885. He says, "That which is so astonishing in the religious life of the ancient Greeks is the irrestrainable stream of gratitude which pours forth. It is a very superior kind of man who takes such an attitude towards nature and towards life. Later on, when the populace got the upper hand in Greece, fear became rampant, also in religion, and Christianity was preparing itself." And that's the end of our friend Nietzsche, or at least the end of his quote. And now, with our chalices and our hearts and minds centered, we invite you to join us in our first hymn. We invite you to join your voices with ours in celebration and singing our first hymn, which is hymn number 298, Wake Now My Senses. And we are going to sing the first, the second, and the third verse, and the lyric will be on the screen here. First, second, and fifth. That's right. First, second, and fifth verse. You may rise as you are willing and able. Be careful what you ask for, right? I think we have a planet that's been transformed by our care. So every now and then, we try to rephrase or restate the thesis of the service in different words. And today we have this children's book. And I want to say that the illustration in this book is not done by one person. It's done by people from all around the world. This book is called From the Heart of Africa, and it is a collection of aphorisms from Africa. So if you would like to see the pictures better and you want to come up here, you can come up here and we can share the pictures together. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. No pressure. Anybody want to come? Robin's coming? Oh, okay, here we go. We got a couple of people. All right, let's see come on. So these are beautiful pictures, and I don't want you to miss them. So it comes to aphorisms is a fancy way of saying sayings. So these are little sayings, okay? So this saying is, when in the middle of a river, do not insult the crocodile. And that is from the Baoli people of the Côte d'Ivoire. Traveling is learning. See? And that's from the Kikuyu people in Kenya. Children are the reward of life. You hear that? Yeah. All right, that's a good one. Children are the reward of life. Yeah, and that's from the Bakongo people in Central Africa. I pointed out the stars to you, but all you saw was the tip of my finger. Right? Right? And that is from the Sukumu people of Tanzania. Did I say that wrong? Oh. It takes a village to raise a child. That's from Hillary Clinton. No, I'm kidding. No. You must judge a man by the work of his hands. Look at the pretty pictures. Aren't they? Let me just... Oh, here's a good one. Do not follow the path. Go where I'm reading it upside down. Go where there is no path and begin the trail. That's a good one, huh? That is a good one. Although that's metaphor. Don't go wandering off the path too much. That's how you get poison ivy. No one tests the depth of the water with both feet. It's amazing how you can say something so profound and so simple. And so, yeah, let's see. Oh, rain does not fall on one roof alone. Right? It's true. This one, I have to admit, not understanding. There's always a winner, even in a monkey's beauty contest. I don't know. Is that because all monkeys look alike? I didn't understand. I have to admit, not understanding that one. Because I've been told it's because most monkeys don't look that good. I got you. Okay. Not to us, right? But they appear to like each other. The longest journey starts with a single footstep. That one we've all heard before, right? I always heard that attributed to the Chinese, to Confucius. But here it says just plain old African proverb. This is a beautiful one. If you wish to go fast, go alone. If you wish to go far, go together. And that is from the Ngabe people in Central Africa. This one I didn't understand because I don't know what that, and here we go. Wisdom, and I don't know what this is, so I'm not exactly sure. Wisdom is like the baobab tree. Baobab? Oh, thank you. No one person can embrace it, so I'm imagining it's a very big tree. Oh, they have a whole ecosystem in just one tree. And that's from the Yu people of West Africa. And then the last one is a very Unitarian Universalist thing to say. Unity is strength. Unity is strength. And that is from Ghana. Ganda, people of Uganda. So this is wisdom in very short sayings from Africa. I hope you liked the story. You did? Now, if you want, you can go to your classes with Miss Morgan, and we will have, and we welcome Ruth.
Emerson collects an offering each week, like many other communities of faith, but our offering is not for our church, which is supported by the annual pledges of our members. We collect our Sunday offering to give to others because we know that giving is both a transformative spiritual act and an important way to live our values. 75% of today's offering will go to our July's Share the Plate recipient, the UUA Disaster Relief Fund. Your donation allows the UUA to respond flexibly to current disaster needs, as well as to new emergency situations as they arise. The fund disperses grants to UU congregations and recognized UU nonprofit entities who are suffering disasters. Their work enables us to embody our faith and values. The remaining 25% of today's offering will go to Interfaith Ministries Meals on Wheels, which provides thousands of meals every day to Houston's homebound seniors. You can go to our webpage for online giving, put cash or a check in our offering basket, or mail a check to the church. During the offering music, children who want to attend their RE class may follow the teachers to their classrooms.
Our service. I welcome you to exhale and sit and be, which is harder than you think it is. I allow you to feel yourself in the pew, feel yourself as what your hands are touching. Allow yourself the luxury of preparing to do the work of the day and the work of the week and the work we do together.
words for our second reading today come from Franz Kafka. Kafka was Jewish, born in Austria in 1883, and lived just 40 years. He was a novelist and short story writer, and also was well known for his aphorisms. This one comes from his last novel, The Castle, published in 1926. If a man has his eyes bound, you can encourage him as much as you like to stare through the bandage, but he'll never see anything.
So, we're talking about wisdom today. We are looking at wisdom, not knowledge, not facts, which are admittedly in short supply these days, not beliefs, which is what churches normally talk about, but wisdom. And we're looking at how to know the difference. How do you know the difference between a knowledge, a fact, a belief, and a wisdom? And I think the thing with wisdom is that wisdom doesn't change with time or events or circumstances. Wisdom is something that when you say it, it's true, and it remains true. Wisdom is important through us, right? Through time, wisdom can be distilled and concentrated and absorbed into neat little phrases called aphorisms. Stories, sayings, hymns, fables, even jokes can communicate wisdom. And when you distill them down enough and take away all of the fat, you end up with something called an aphorism. Do you know what aphorisms are? You've heard of aphorisms, okay. An aphorism is a short, clever saying, like the ones that we just read, like the one we heard from Kafka and the one we heard from Nietzsche. Little sayings that express a general truth. So I knew what aphorisms were, but when I really started thinking about aphorisms in a way to be able to talk to you about it, I started to realize that I didn't really know what aphorisms were. So I wondered, what's the difference between an aphorism and an adage and a dictum and a motto and a proverb? And I went down that definition hole and I said, I'm not doing that because that's stupid. There are too many words sometimes. Much of the earliest wisdom is contained in religious documents. Let me tell you about a few of them. One of the earlier ones that we have is called The Debate Between Winter and Summer, which is a Sumerian book from the 3rd millennium BC. 3,000 years before 2,000 years ago. Right, so 5,000 years ago, we have this book, which is the debate between winter and summer. A little bit later, also in Sumeria, we have the hymn to Enlil. And by the way, the debate between winter and summer is probably much of the basis for the book of Job in the Bible. It's very similar stories. The instructions of Shuruppak in the 3rd millennium, also in Sumeria. These aphorisms survive to this day in different form, in a form called Proverbs in the Jewish and Christian Bible. The Egyptians had the instructions of Kejimeni, the maxims of Ptahhotep, 2 H's together in the same word, thank you very much, and the instructions of Amenhotep, the loyalist teachings and hymns, such as a prayer to Rikari, Aktari, and those are probably 3,000 years old. Islam, much more recent by comparison, has mirrors for princes. The Greeks, also much more recent, has the works of Days by Hesiod. The Norse, not to be left out, have the poem of Havamal. And Sanskrit, the whole idea of aphorisms in Sanskrit was so popular that it has an entire genre of literature named after it. And then lastly, the granddaddy of them all, which is the one that I think most of you think about when you think about aphorisms, is Confucius's Analects, right? Yeah. And that is in the 5th and 6th century BC. So these things are definitely old. They've been distilled, and they have been accepted and thought about by generation after generation of people. However, there are many more modern people who are known as aphorists. It's a title that they use for people who write a lot of aphorisms. We've already heard Nietzsche and Kafka are two of the other ones that are popular, and I'm going to give you a couple more. Oscar Wilde, for example, talked and wrote in a lot of aphorisms. He said, "Experience is the name everyone gives to their mistakes." And you laugh because it's true, right? Like there's some truth. It's funny, but it's also true. If it weren't true, it wouldn't be funny. It would just be stupid, right? And I will say I read a lot of aphorisms that I didn't get, and that I read a whole bunch that I disagree with. I have filtered most of those out for the purpose of this sermon. Not to say that you needed me to filter them, but it would have gotten all bogged down. Russian novelist Leo Tolstoy said, "Wrong does not cease to be wrong just because the majority share in it." Tibetan spiritual and political leader, His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama, says, "Know the rules well so you can break them effectively." And of course, no list would be complete in my book without a Frenchman. So we bring in Voltaire, who said, "If you want to know who controls you, look at who you are not allowed to criticize." For the purpose of this sermon. So why am I doing this? What is the purpose of this sermon? The purpose of this sermon is to allow you to hear this wisdom in a controlled space where you can focus and think. I want to give you a chance to chew on these. I want to give you a chance to consider them. And most importantly, I want to give you a chance to question them when you think they need to be questioned. I want you to look into them, find out how they can be helpful to you. And if you're feeling overwhelmed because these little distilled through time sayings can be a lot. Like one little saying can be a lot. Like it can kind of blow your mind a little bit. Focus on one or two that are of interest to you. Pick one or two that talk to you, or that you agree with, or that you disagree with. It doesn't matter to me. Those are the same, right? Focus on them. And we're going to do a talk back after. So if one hits you the right way or the wrong way, we'll have a talk back after, and we can chat about them afterwards. As someone famous once said, an unexamined life is not worth living. So let's give yourselves a minute to examine. And right now, I think, is one of the best times in history to reconsider how we think. Because how we think has gotten us in a cycle of destruction and progress and caring and disdain that leaves the world once again marching on the edge of a governance and economic precipice. So I think it's important to do this right now. I will tell you that I personally love to listen to people who make me think about things differently, or think the same way but think about different things I hadn't thought of. And the other thing I'm going to say, because I'm going to focus on a very modern aphorist here, I want to make sure that you know that not all wisdom of the ages needs to be old. Some things can be very new and still, I think, be ready to stand the test of time. People like Daniel Kahneman and Benoit Mandelbrot, people who have affected me, are these kinds of people. And I'd like to introduce one of them to you, one person who has made me reconsider the way I think and reconsider the way I look at the world, is this guy, whom we have a slide, Nicholas Nassim Taleb. Taleb is, let me read his biography for you. He was born in 1960, so he's not old. He's born in Lebanon with French citizenship. He was born to an upper middle class family. He's an essayist, a mathematician, a statistician, an option trader, a risk analyst, a professor, and a writer. His work concerns problems of randomness, probability, complexity, and uncertainty. His bibliography goes something like this. In 1997, he published a book of interest only to other people in futures trading. It's not for you. It's not for really anybody. And then 2 more books on technical statistics about how we misunderstand the effect of risk. The books that you might be interested in are, in 2001, he wrote Fooled by Randomness. In 2007, he wrote The Black Swan. In 2012, which I preached on here, Anti-Fragile. Skin in the Game, which is subtitled Hidden Asymmetries in Daily Life in 2018, plus 15 academic papers. He's a professor at NYU. But the book I'm focused on today is our next slide. I'd like to introduce you to The Bed of Procrustes, a philosophical and practical aphorisms published in 2010 and expanded and revised in 2016. So, Taleb. Have any of you heard of Taleb? 2 people, right? 4 people, right, okay. Right, 4 or 5. Oh, we got another one, great, okay. I find him to be just absolutely engaging. Now, if you ever see him, like a video of him, he's, the nice way to say it, he's a jerk, right? Like live, he's, have you ever seen a video of him, Ron? He's just like, yeah, you're wrong. He's just so dismissive. But that doesn't make him wrong. So here, what I've done is I only got through half the book, so I'm going to read you a few of his aphorisms here. But let me tell you 2 more things, a couple more things. First is, his major thesis is that we humans facing limits of our knowledge and things we do not observe, the unseen and the unknown, resolve that tension by squeezing life and the world into crisp, commoditized ideas. We tend to oversimplify things that are not simple, is what he says. He does not like Plato, so he's all right with me. And he believes that our general approach to seeing the world leads people to have the wrong map of reality, and that we'd actually be better off with no map at all. Okay, in the book, The Bed of Procrustes, I'm going to give you 3 notes. First is many of his aphorisms have to do with economics, which for the most part I have skipped over because I didn't want to have you have to do the double step of getting through real life through economics, because it was like an extra step. He tends to be pretty harsh toward academics, and knowing that we have some in the room, I've skipped those too. And he tends to write in male-centered language, so I've changed some of the pronouns to they and he and whatever. So I have like 30 of them. I'm not going to read them all because that would just list too much. So I'm just going to pick a few out here. And I want you to really just sit and think about these and think about how meaningful they are, and if they turn you a little bit toward looking in a different direction than you might be prone to looking. So here, the person you are most afraid to contradict is yourself. Amen? I suspect that they put Socrates to death because there is something terribly unattractive, alienating, and non-human in thinking with too much clarity. I like this one. Procrastination is the soul rebelling against entrapment. Ooh. Most mistakes get worse when you try to correct them. onto the ontological section. If you get easily bored, it means that your BS detector is functioning properly. If you forget some things, it means that your mind knows how to filter. And if you feel sadness, it means that you're human. We need to feel a little bit lost somewhere, physically or intellectually, at least once a day. He's very big into not knowing what the day is going to be. By accepting the sacred, you reinvent religion. I see a lot of you going, huh? Think about that one for a minute. Religion isn't so much about convincing man that there's only one God as it is about preventing man from thinking that he is God. You don't become completely free just by avoiding to be a slave. You also need to avoid becoming a master. Let's see, a couple more. Let's bring up Karl Marx, because that always goes well. Karl Marx, a visionary, figured out that you can control a slave much better by convincing him that he's an employee. Yeah, right? So you see, we're trying to move the paradigm, right? We're trying to shift the way you look. That's what religion should be doing. That's what religion should be doing. That's one of the frustrating things about modern religion, is it focused on the bits of the sacred script that make sense to us in our modern world, where we should be focusing on the bits of the religious script that don't make any sense to us in our modern world, right? Like in the Bible, how many times did Jesus say, the first shall be last and the last shall be first? And when was the last time you heard any minister in any church tell that one? Nobody wants to hear that. It doesn't comply with our understanding of the world. These don't comply with our understanding of the world. And if you're anything like me, who thinks the world needs to be argued with, these are helpful tools for bending the way you look at things. A couple more. A fool views himself as more unique and others as more generic. The wise views himself as more generic and others as more unique. Medieval man was a cog in a wheel he did not understand. Modern man is a cog in a complicated system he thinks he understands. This is absolutely true. I don't think anybody would argue with this one. My biggest problem with modernity, lives in the growing separation between the ethical and the legal. Right? We have a lot of unethical laws, immoral laws. Two more. Never take advice from a salesperson or any advice that benefits the advice giver. And the last one for you to think about, and then we'll sing a hymn. You may outlive your strength, but you will never outlive your wisdom. And with that, I invite you. I don't know if that was too much for you. I love those things. I don't know if that was okay with you. I hope it was. I invite you now to join us in singing our second hymn. I would like to point out that we have our choirette for a couple more weeks, right? If you are interested in joining the choir, now is a great time. I don't mean right now, but like, right now is fine too. If you're interested in joining the choir, now is a great time. We will go back, and Julia is out. She's away on some sort of business trip or something. So we thank Mary for pinch hitting for us, and we invite you to rise and sing our second hymn, Praises for the Journey. This is a new one, I think. I don't think we've sang this one too. So do you want to play it through once? Cleaned everything up. Each time, my friends, we come together, we move. We move with the words we hear. We move with the music we hear. We move with the light of our chalice, which, like us, flutters and fluckers from side to side. I said fluckers. Moving constantly, yet tethered to its source. Sorry. Ooh. We extinguish this chalice now, not as a symbolic ritual, but as a practical ritual. We do this because who wrote this? Sorry.
You need a hand. Each time we come together, we move with words we hear, we move with the music we hear, we move with the light of the chalice, which, like us, flitters and flutters from side to side, moving constantly, yet tethered to its source. We extinguish this chalice now, not as a symbolic ritual, but as a practical ritual. We do this because the flickering, fluttering light of our congregation is carried within each of us here present. Those not present today, those who have left this community long ago, never to return, and those who have yet to arrive. We have already had our chalice extinguished, so we are grateful for your presence this morning. For those of you who have joined us on YouTube after the postlude, we'll be ending our live streaming service. We love having you and look forward to seeing you here again, either online with us or with us here on Bering Drive. May we, in the course of our week to come, be able to feel the liberating freedom of this religious path we share. May our gods welcome us. May they challenge us to live up to our own expectations of ourselves wherever and whatever they are. And may the world around us light up so that we may see our way back to clarity and wholeness. And after the recessional, I guess, we will have, and the postlude, we will have the talk back. So think about your favorite aphorisms.